What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another installment of E.B.N Network. Black Ass here with another video presentation, bitch. It's February, and you know what that means. It's Black History Month. And I wanted to make a special video for this month because I wanted to explain something that, has to do with color. Primarily for this color, I'll be talking about the color white today. And the symbolism behind it, what it means, how black people especially have been programmed psychologically into thinking that this is like the best color. But not only black people, Asian people, you have like light-skinned people, white people especially, they'll claim that the color white itself is the best color. And just overall, any race among man thinks that the color white is just the best color, which is not true to me. And one thing you gotta always keep in mind is, as far as like this video's sake, this is really just my opinion on things, Like, if people have a hard time understanding shit, or, if you may not understand what I'm talking about, then I suggest you do some research, But now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about the color white. Now, especially when it comes to like black people, or I'm gonna just stop using niggas. When it comes to just when you're in kindergarten learning your colors, right? The color white is, psychologically in your head the best color, because it doesn't have a color. It's colorless, And the color white is psychologically programmed in our heads through the media, school, especially church, dating preference. But even with dating preference, that could just be, what you like in, people. But it's programmed through a lot of these things that we don't really notice, Like, I'm just gonna bring up an example or a few, like church, for example. Church and funerals. When it comes to church, the color white is represented as pure, safe, holy, etc. Sacred, pure. Like, I think I've already said that. But, even through church, the color white is represented as, a holy, pure color. And anything other than white is technically considered satanic or devilish. Our own blood, for example, the color red, is linked to satanic, demonic worship. Because there's a reason why blood is linked to sacrifices and all of that shit. The color white is associated with everything pure and holy and sacred and all that shit. And this color, do I personally think white is a bad color? Yes and no. Because when you have like white clothes, for example, right? Ironically, for this video, I chose to wear a white shirt. Now, if I wear this shirt for 7 days out of the week, so the whole week, it's gonna get dirty. If I wear a black shirt 7 days of the week, you can't tell if it's dirty, you know. Now, I'll be getting into the video where I talk about, white people, for example, and their obsession with the color white, you know. White people, everything they have is white. Their shoes, their car, their clothes, their pillow sheets, their couches, all of that shit, you know. Because to them, the perfect color is white. Even though to me, white is just plain. And that's what I figured out, bro. And it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to realize this, but if you look at white people, white is exactly how to describe them. Because you gotta look at the color white. White is plain, bro. Vanilla. When you taste vanilla, what flavor is it? It's plain, bro. Flour, plain. Sugar, it has a flavor, but it's all white, which is a bad analogy, But y'all know what I'm trying to say here. And when it comes to talking about the Caucasian race, saying that they're white is basically exactly how to describe them. Because white people are plain, and it's basically they have no flavor, Because when you taste vanilla, you know it's vanilla, but it doesn't have a rich flavor, if that makes sense. It doesn't have a flavor that says, wow, this shit tastes so fucking good, like chocolate, And that's basically what the color white has kind of, that's how I see that color. Plain and just boring, Plain and boring. There's really nothing, I guess, cool about it. Like this shirt, for example. My shoes. Somebody could see me looking, or somebody could look at this shirt and tell themselves, wow, that's a really plain shirt. It's just a shirt that happens to be white. And that's basically how I see white people and just the color white in general. It's plain. It's just a plain, like, default, skin. A plain color. As opposed to the rest of the colors, like black, yellow, red, green, purple, blue, brown, like every other color besides white is something you could actually see, And the reason why white people are obsessed with the color white so much is because to them they think that's the best color. That's why they identify with their own color, race of people, with their own kind. But, man, like, and again, I don't have a problem with white people. It's just that since it is Black History Month, you know, I find myself conflicted because whenever I'm out in public, especially during this time of the fucking year, white people, to them, it's like, I guess they realize the error of their ways and they're, I guess, trying to be nice. Just to give you an example, I've been at the gas station last week. I had to just buy something to cook for dinner. This is like 8 o'clock at night. And two white guys happened to open the door for my ass. I said thank you, because that's what you say when somebody opens the door for you. I said thank you. And then I thought to myself, is it just because it's Black History Month that you guys are opening the fucking door for me? Like, because on average, I don't even get that. you know, Especially during, uh, you know, summer or anything like that. Like, I never get dudes opening the door for me, you know, on a regular basis, which I don't really want to or really give a fuck about it, but it's always during February that it happens the most. Like, it's always during this month that it happens the most. And, you know, when it comes to black people, even black people know that the color white is plain as fuck and boring. You know, I don't see any of my homeboys wearing a plain white shirt or plain white basketball shorts. You know, the only time I may see a nigga wearing white is if he got some white shoes. But notice on the white shoes, there's a black like midsole, or there happens to be other colors on it to where it's not just plain white, you know. And it's been like this since the beginning of time. People want to act like racism is something that just came out in the 60s and really deny the whole thing. But this has been happening since, the dawn of time. You know, we could go as far back, you know. It's especially implanted in our children. Whenever, like, say you have like a daughter, right? And you and your daughter, right, go to the store and buy some dolls or whatever. 9 times out of 10, she's gonna get the doll that resembles Barbie. And last time I checked, y'all, Barbie is not a black woman. Barbie is a Caucasian woman with blonde hair. You know. And again, I don't have a problem with, little girls wanting like dolls from other races, but it's kind of like this has always been a thing, and I just want to notify you guys that this programming has always been a thing, and one thing about white people, I would say, even with the whole white people example, white people are not really white. They're peach. If you're really, really white, I don't mean like mentally, I mean like your actual pigmentation. If you're really white, then you would look British. You would look fucking sick, bro. You would look like you're fucking ill on your deathbed about to die. That's the color white. But if you're like fucking peach, or if you have like a hint of like brown, well, you're not tan, but you're not fucking pale as fuck. Yeah, that's fucking white. But I don't know, man. Again, it's just something that in society it's always been taught to us, especially when we were younger. You know, it's always been taught to us that the color white is the best color. It's the best color. It's the most pure. I've even heard it's the safest color. You know, that really showed me then and there, okay, something is wrong with, like, you know, people that think like this. You know what I'm saying? Something is wrong with you. You know. Now, I'll be talking about the color black. And some niggas already know where I'm going to go with this, so I'm going to go off. But when it comes to the color black, there's always a negative connotation. You know, the color black. I want you to visualize this. Close your eyes and what do you see? The color black. Which is associated to darkness, death, evil, Satanism, you know, the Grim Reaper even, like, which is associated with death. And it's like, the colors that are seen as good and bad is the color white is good and the color black is bad. And this is where the whole race thing comes out. You know, if a white person, somebody that's quote unquote good in society, sees a person that's black, that's quote unquote bad in society, that's basically racism. And I think white people have this whole color fetish for the color white. You know, I see it with a lot of people, even I know, that were my friends back in the day. You know, you can see it, that it's evident, you know, where everything they have is white. Everything that they own is white. You know, their favorite color is white. Now, if your favorite color is white, that's not a bad thing, you know, you just might like it. But you know, I just think it goes deeper than, you know, favorite colors and all that shit. You know, for example, the color black, you have, you know, just words that trigger words that trigger that, how do you call it, that negative connotation that can make people not like that color, you know. It's a lot of words, man, like, you know, like, just an example, he's not black enough, he's too black, he's too dark, you know. Even if it doesn't have anything to do with, you know, your skin color. The black sheep, you know, the dark web. You know what I'm saying? Like, dark matter, black hole. Should I name more? You know, the black pill, you know, the dark night. You know what I'm saying? The black planet. You know, the black experience. You know, black power. Like, now, those last few words were actually words that are positive. But when a white man hears it, it's the end of the world. You know, it's it's a negative connotation to them. And what I'm trying to say with this video is it's all black and white. And I'm not talking a chessboard. Both of these colors have a negative and positive connotation. Anything that's black is negative. Anything that's white is positive. But, you know, with racism and how people see color, it's all through a personal preference. You know, like right in front of me now, a white person happens to drive a white car. You know, as I'm talking again, a white person happens to drive a black truck. You know, it's all personal preference. And these are two both white people. You know what I'm saying? Not every white person is racist. Not every black person supports his community. And this is something that people should know. You know what I'm saying? Like, going back to like vanilla, for example, you know, vanilla isn't white on its own. Like the extract that you get, like the plant, that shit is black, bro. You know. And it does bother me sometimes when, you know, people that associate black with negativity is, it's just all bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna use just cars as an example. You know. Now I don't know this, like especially like the statistics, but does anybody really know the percentage of black cars being bought? Like, what percent is the percent for black cars being bought? I really want to know, because I'm driving a black car, and at my last dealership, right, I saw a lot of cars that were black that were not bought. They were just kind of in a section all by themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it just shows a lot of people's favoritism towards the color white, you know. You know. And colorism, man, like, I don't know, man. Like, again, like I said, like the color white it's a program, man. Like, when you're a kid, you know, you're told like this is like the best color, not straight up, but you know, through TV, movies, you know, what you read, what you are taught in school, especially like history, you don't see black people at all unless they're in chains and shit. You know, the only time you see black people is the Martin Luther Kings, the fucking Malcolm X's, the Rosa Parks, you know. And this is no discredit to them, but, you know, through the school system, its main purpose is to just teach kids of all races about, you know, white and white only. White people, and how they conquered America and all of that shit. There is no black, history, you know. And it's fucked up, man. Like, the programming of this shit is fucked up. It really is, man. But I'm gonna probably make a few more videos on black history. Um, you know, it's just something to think about because it is Black History Month, and I wanted to just, you know, go outside the box for a bit. Just something to think about. But like, comment, subscribe, support the network. Y'all have a good one, man. I'm out.